Shalom family. I like to start off this video just by saying all praises to the Most High. And this video is going to be, I don't know, it might be pretty long. But the reason I'm making this video is because I still have family that are in the Christian church. Some of my family understands they are Israelites, but don't see the issue with going to the Christian church. So this is why I'm making this video. And so we're going to get into this. I use ChatGPT because I'm going to admit I'm not I wouldn't call myself a teacher at this point. I'm definitely a student. That being said, I can recall verses, but I don't necessarily exactly know where they are at this point. So I use ChatGPT to help me find out where they are. So I woke up the other morning and all these verses just came like a flood to my head. So we're going to go over these real quick. And this is what I had ChatGPT do. I pretty much wrote out all the verses and told it to put corresponding scripture to these verses, or I pretty much hinted at the verses essentially. Okay. So we're going to go over these real quick. And it says, here are the corresponding scripture for each statement. Okay. It says, number 1, can a crooked thing be made straight? Ecclesiastes 1:15. That which is crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is wanting cannot be numbered. Number 2, hate what God hates. Proverbs 6:16-19. These 6 things doth the Lord hate, yea, 7 are an abomination unto him: a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that deceiveth, wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. 3, if you love your family more than God, you're not worthy. Matthew 10:37. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. Number 4, be transformed by renewing your mind, not renew and stay the same. Romans 12:2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Number 5, God doesn't like worship that he didn't prescribe. Leviticus 10:1, verses 1-2. And Nadab and Abihu, the sons of Aaron, took either of them his censer, and put fire therein, and put incense thereon, and offered strange fire before the Lord, which he commanded them not. And the fire went out, and there went out fire from the Lord, and devoured them, and they died before the Lord. Okay, that's a duplicate, so we'll skip that. Number 7, it says, God is serious about his commandments. Don't touch the Ark of the Covenant or you will die. All right. 2 Samuel 6:6-7. And when they came to Nahon's threshing floor, Uzzah put forth his hand to the ark of God and took hold of it, for the oxen shook it. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Uzzah, and God smote him there for his error. And there he died by the ark of God. So we can see God does not play. He was just trying to help. Okay? But he doesn't play. So here we go. Number 8, God doesn't care about your good intentions. Samuel 15:22-23. And Samuel said, hath the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Okay, so we can't be stubborn, we can't rebel, we can't hear something we don't like and say, you know what, I'm going to make up my excuses and my reasons for why I need to still do this. Number 9, his ways aren't your ways and his thoughts aren't your thoughts. Isaiah 55, 8 through 9. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. So, for example, we probably wouldn't have killed anybody if they tried to, touch something or try to help us out if something was falling. And they say, oh, let me go grab it real quick. It was probably just a quick little reflex, but the Most High said, not supposed to touch it. Bam, dead. So we have to think that we can't try to use our own logic because our logic really does not matter. Okay. So number 10, it says, when the northern kingdom separated, they created a new place. They created a new place, a substitute place for their people to celebrate. Okay. So keep in mind, they were still celebrating, but they were celebrating in a substitute place. What does that sound like to you? Okay. They were still doing the customs. They just changed the place away from Jerusalem, and God doesn't like that. Okay. 1 Kings 12, 26 through 30. And Jeroboam said in his heart, now shall the kingdom return to the house of David, because they just split. If this people go up to do sacrifice in the house of the Lord at Jerusalem, then shall the heart of this people turn again unto the Lord, even unto Rehoboam king of Judah, and they shall kill me, and go again to Rehoboam king of Judah. Whereupon the king took counsel and made 2 calves of gold. What's that sound like? Golden calves again. And they said unto them, okay, it is too much for you to go up to Jerusalem. Behold, thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt, and he set the one in Bethel, and the other put he in Dan. Okay. And this thing became a sin. Okay. It's a sin because it is not what the Most High wanted nor prescribed. For the people went to worship before the one, even unto Dan. Okay. That says, don't be lukewarm. Okay. Number 11. Revelations 3, 15 through 16. And I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. So God doesn't want you to be on the fence. He doesn't want you to have 1 foot in, 1 foot out. He wants you to be all 100% committed. Okay. He doesn't want you to be worshiping he doesn't want you to be worshiping him, like he prescribes on the Sabbath day. And then on Sunday, going and worshiping him, saying you're worshiping him on a Sunday. And it's just complete. It's confusion. I'll just leave it at that at this point. All right. So we're going to go on. And so then I asked it, if someone just realized, and I asked it this question, if someone just realized they were an Israelite, why would it be bad to keep going to a Sunday Christian church service based on all of these scriptures? Make it understandable at a 7th grade level. And this is what it told me. It said, if someone just found out they were an Israelite, continuing to go to a regular Sunday Christian church can be a problem because it often teaches things that go against what Yahweh actually commands and the Bible. Let's break it down in a simple way using the scriptures we just talked about. All right. And if you're wondering why it said Yahweh, it's because I actually programmed it to actually say, instead of God, say Yahweh. Okay, you can do that. But all this other information is coming straight from ChatGPT. I did not pre-program this, nor can you. Okay, so here we go. It says, number 1, God is serious about his commandments. 2 Samuel 6, 6 through 7. Just like Uzzah died for touching the Ark of the Covenant when he wasn't supposed to, we can't just do things our way and expect God to accept it. If Yahweh gave specific instructions on how to worship him, doing it differently can be dangerous. Okay, we should know God does not play. Number 2, God doesn't like worship he didn't prescribe. Leviticus 10, 1 through 2. when Nadab and Abihu offered strange fire that Yahweh didn't command. He killed them immediately. Okay, that was their good intentions. But it says worship has to be done the way he said, not just any way people feel like. Sunday church follows man-made traditions instead of what's actually in the Bible. Okay, and as you can see, they were playing with fire. You say you play with fire, you get burned. Okay, so they were playing with fire. You can't play with fire. All right, so his ways aren't our ways. Isaiah 55, 8-9. Just because something feels right doesn't mean it's right in Yahweh's eyes. Sunday worship, Christmas, Easter, and other church traditions don't come from the Bible. They come from men. We have to follow Yahweh, not what people came up with. And one of my family members, he understands that Christmas and Easter and the other traditions all fall into this category, but somehow he's taking right now Sunday worship as something completely separate. And I'm hoping he understands after he sees this. And I'm hoping actually you guys, when you share this maybe with family or friends, that they can see it as well. 4, God doesn't care about good intentions. 1 Samuel 15:22-23. King Saul thought he was doing a good thing by offering sacrifices, but Yahweh rejected him because he didn't obey completely. Just because a church talks about love and doing good things doesn't mean it follows Yahweh's laws. 5, hate what God hates. Okay, Proverbs 16:16 or Proverbs 6:16-19. If Yahweh hates false worship and lies, we should too. Many Sunday churches teach things that are not in the Bible, like saying the laws are done away with or that you can eat unclean foods. If Yahweh hates falsehood, we shouldn't support it. 6, being transformed by renewing your mind. Romans 12:2. Learning the truth means we have to change. If we find out that we're Israelites and that Sunday worship is not what Yahweh commands, we can't just stay the same and keep doing it. Real change means following the laws, Sabbaths, and holy days Yahweh actually set up. 7. The Northern Kingdom's mistake. 1 Kings 12:26-30. When Israel was split, Jeroboam made a fake worship system to keep people from going to Jerusalem as Yahweh commanded. Okay, he still claimed they were worshiping the same God, but Yahweh hated it. Sunday church does the same thing. It changes the true way of worship and replaces it with traditions. 8. Don't be lukewarm. Revelations 3:15-16. Yahweh doesn't want people halfway committed. You can't know the truth and still keep going to a place that teaches lies. He wants us to be all in for him, not 1 foot in the truth and 1 foot in false tradition. The bottom line, Sunday church teaches things that go against Yahweh's commandments. If you know now you're an Israelite, you have to follow what Yahweh actually said, not what churches have been teaching for centuries based on man-made traditions. That means keeping the Sabbath on the right day, Saturday, following the laws and rejecting false teachings. Yahweh is serious about obedience. And once you know the truth, you have to live by it. Would you keep eating food for you that you just found out was poison? Of course not. The same goes for spiritual food. If it's not what Yahweh commanded, you have to stop taking it in. Okay. And so we're going to wrap this up right here, and I'm going to go on. We're going to do a next video, but the next video is going to be this question right here. I asked ChatGPT because I was curious. I said, what advice would you have for an Israelite that goes to a church where an Edomite that doesn't even keep the commandments is the head preacher? So we're going to be talking about an Israelite going to a church, a congregation on Sunday, on the wrong day that God, the Most High, did not prescribe, being under an Edomite who God says he hates, and obviously he doesn't keep the commandments, and a bunch of other things. He says the Jews are not us, and he also says a bunch of other things that are falsehoods. So that being said, we will see you guys on the next video. Hope you've enjoyed this. Take it easy. Be blessed.